Okay, so a few days ago I attempted to review Professor Layton, and I decided instead of just re-uploading what I did before, because I didn't like it and I thought I could do a better job, and because I actually can't be bothered with this game unlike the others, I thought I'd give it a shot at just redoing it. Now, Professor Layton Pandora's Box, I didn't spend nearly as much time as I'd like to with it because it wasn't my copy, it was someone else's. So I only had a couple of days to play with it. So ideally, if you're going to be playing a game like this, it is in many ways like the kind of ideal DS game because it is the kind of game where you just want to play a little bit at this time, uh, maybe solve a couple of puzzles on the way to work, something like that, or just before bed, like, or when you like the chair, like last drink, something like that, and then just save it or just shut the DS, put it in sleep mode, and then come back to it later. And and the designers realised this that whenever you reload it brings it back with like a story so far type deal, and it was very welcome. I mean, the way I flew through it, I only encountered this twice, so I mean, I didn't get all the I would have liked to have seen more of what they would have said about each little chapter as I was going along, but I was trying to just fly through the game and complete it before I had to give it back. Um, so I can't give the game full credit that it deserves because I was playing it completely the wrong way, and I do admit as because of the limited time I spent with it, and that and because I just wanted to actually see the end of the game rather than getting frustratingly close to the end and then not being able to afford my copy for several months. And probably when I actually do get it, never actually playing it, like I am guilty of a lot of the time, hence the challenge like videos that I've been doing or will be doing. So I did have to resort to cheating on a few of the hard puzzles where it's just like I had a few attempts and just literally putting my head against the wall repeatedly and just I didn't get whatever it was trying to show me. And well, I forgot to mention it is primarily a puzzle game, but I mean you should know this if you unless you accidentally stumbled across this video somehow. I mean it's the second of what I believe is going to be a six-part series. The third is definitely coming over to America and therefore I to Europe, and Japan is the only confirmed one, I think, for the second trilogy of the Layton. I could be wrong, it's been a while since I've seen any news of the series. One quite cool feature of it is if you do get each game in the series, you can find special codes. I think that you have to solve the minimum number of puzzles or complete the game. I don't know which it is exactly, but if you go down to the bonus part, there'll be I think it's different every game. This one had a code for the locked door that if I'd gone back into first game, which unfortunately I also don't have because I stupidly traded it away. I do need to write back in at some point. I could have gone in and got like a little preview of the or some concept art or some special bonus. I mean, like that, I didn't have the game, so I wasn't able to put the code in that had given me and see what the bonus was. But the reason I know about it is because in this one it said that there was a special code in the Saint Stair first part, and there was a code in the sequel as well. That if I put back into this game, I'd get some sort of bonus. So it's an interesting concept. I mean, especially with a game like this, because there are some recurring characters. And I mean, I know it is basically just a dressed up puzzle game, but I like that dressing up. I mean, I don't like dressing up myself, but I'm not the type of person to play just a straightforward puzzle game. I prefer especially since there's been quite a few on the DS. I mean, I would argue that the Phoenix Wright or Ace Attorney, as it's now been dubbed series, it is basically just a puzzle game. You're trying to figure out the holes in people's arguments and little ticks in the apologist's game, or body language type things. And like there's another code, I think it was called, quite early on DS game that was basically again a whole bunch of puzzles, but was dressed up within a mystery story. And Hotel Dusk as well by the same people, which was the first DS game that I played that made me hold like a book, and it was that was a brilliant, brilliant game. I could easily just pick it up and go through it again, but unfortunately, unfortunately, I've got a whole bunch of other things. So again, for Professor Layton, it's a story that follows on. In some ways, there's some recurring characters from the first part, which I could just about remember, recall, mainly because they imply that they know each other from the previous place. Um, and this time it's unsurprisingly, considering well, it's in Europe, it's called the Pandora's Box. It's dealing with a mysterious box that rumour has it over the past 100 years they're supposed to kill people who open it, and thus it's being called Pandora's Box, the box that all of the evil supposedly came out of. So yeah, and I found myself towards the end because that's just the type of player I am. Just instead of being bothered about the puzzles, I was more involved with wanting to find out what happened in the story. I mean, it's not the story isn't the main point. It is all about the puzzles, but it's enough there for me to want to find out what happens. Which there's always a certain point in the game where it's just like, well, why am I bothering anymore? And for me, this game didn't have it. I had to see the end, and it was an interesting conclusion. Wasn't exactly what I expected, which is always a good thing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and yeah, I don't think this video is much better than the previous racing video I had. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's on my buy list. It's in the top 10. It's slightly behind the first one because obviously I would like to. Well, I'm the type who likes to have all the games in the series if he can. Unless it's like Final Fantasy, where I just like to have all good games in the series. And that's like a whole can of worms. So hopefully we'll get plenty of people about that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and there's nothing else more to say though. So I will leave it.